No, I um, yeah, this was to share something I imagined that seemed quite logical according to what I felt and what things mean and the meaning of words and how we can interpret different things different ways and how some sort of bird language kind of occurs too in some sort of context in normal phrases that create subliminal and other meanings to words, but that also print themselves into some sort of collective consciousness or some sort of psychic book. I would describe where a common or a collective memory is stored, where the history of humanity is stored, and what actually happened. Because I've heard lots of YouTubers mentioning that with words like history, if you break it up and you study the word, it's his story, and by breaking up words, you start noticing this other story and this other messaging and things that occur on the side or in this other dynamic. And so by studying the word doe and what doe was, well, in bird language and having it appear in The Simpsons with Homer Simpson saying doe all the time, and then having the Dow Jones, uh, and then that all of our alimentation or food is basically all dough. If you exclude meat and vegetables, all the rest is dough. It's flour and water. So I started thinking about that because inside of me, I started first of all to realize that I'm going to get you to realize things which means real eyes in the bird language. The word realize is real eyes, but it's also real lies. So there's three meanings in the same word. And yeah, hopefully you manage to earn those real eyes after listening to this video and you start learning things. Because I am contagious. Kids, people get a nice black sweater or a scarf because I'm a bit crazy. So yeah, you have to be a bit crazy to feel energy inside of yourself like I do. Because inside of me and on top of me, around me, it actually materializes. I feel it. It's like tape or ribbons, and they twirl down and they fold and create tubes with this erotic sensation in them. When the fold is, it's some sort of tunnel. That erogenous feeling inside the tube is actually people that are all stretched in those U tubes because it's U's that because when you bird language the I love you, well, the I would love you, which was the evil. It was the yin, the yang. I love the yin, love yang. I love you. Yin was made for loving yang. I was made for loving you. But I was in a pyramidal system. And yeah, so, I lost what I was saying. Yeah, so that erogenous feeling is related to the sex chakra, the one at the bottom. on your pelvis. Your perineal area is where people gather when you're the father or the sort of chief or most influent or natural leader, I prefer to say, or inspirer of the group, which all have the same role. It's to inspire the collectivity that gave them the place as a natural leader, which is Christ often. And the fascism taught us to put that person aside. It's always a good person. So I mean, it's a good victim to have because you know nothing is bad gonna happen to you because it's a fundamentally good person, that victim all the time, the scapegoat. So I lived a lot of that, and that pushed me inside of my mind, and a lot of exclusion and being left alone and having circles shut around me, like right in front of me. People always closing up and leaving me out every time, every single time. It would repeat itself. It's this mechanism that I can't find inside of that maze of tentacles inside my head. I have these tentacles and these worms and these snakes that I feel that are what I call dope. It's I don't know if everybody. Whenever I speak of that to people, they look like they know what you're talking about. But after a while, they ended up looking like they know what I'm talking about. But I think it's just a look in their face because they don't seem to have a clue what I'm talking about. Or they're told not to talk about it and to keep it secret for some sort of way. Because if you think the way, I have a way open wake up. I opened busted the whole wall in my psychic punk prana generator. Thanks to the generator son from Bad Religion, by the way, that activated the Buddha and the lower chakras, the generation for the Prana and the Chi. Yeah, so they get this cold energy that comes in from the crown and all the chakras. You can breathe in that energy from third eye, throat chakra, heart, plexus solar. But there's also that's kind of air and glazy. Sometimes it has a flavor like a whiskey we call, or wine, or you're gonna have a tea. You're gonna have water. With it's, I don't know if I can get the water, but the water is a cold feeling. It's a fresh air kind of thing. It's cool. And water is also in French. The l'eau is for the bon bain. It's the bath. The bird language looks a lot like French and English mixed together. I think a lot of it was a French-English conflict, or not necessarily all conflict, because there was a friendship. Sorry, bird language, friendship. I don't think the friendship was the problem. It wasn't after the way every morning. The wake up, it was up here. It's always there. The way, by the way, my way. So I ended up being excluded and having to build my own way from the garbage and build my own house and to survive all this sabotage and toxic invasions and drugs and whatever, and use of psychedelics probably opened some doors of perception inside of me, like William Blake would say. This way I can feel the flow. I feel the caramel being stretched, and I can feel the horniness of that energy. It's like I compare that to the tape. it's like if we would have a positive and a negative. And the positive or the negative, I don't know which to call what. One of them is horny, the other one's not, or different. It gives energy, it gives fear instead of sexual feeling, or love, love. It could be love too, because you can place that everywhere. They've always placed it on the sex, so it's always related to sex. And that's where the needs are. Your rats that need you, that make you need, and that get you. Be careful when you have a drag, and some people don't notice that whenever they take a drag or a sip, it's actually somebody else's energy interacting with those two areas of want and need. I don't know if I can touch them. When I try sometimes to demonstrate, it doesn't work. I do it to myself. I attach strings to my pelvis, and I let them kind of search, and then they hook onto this love feeling. I'd rather call it love than horny. And yeah, there's those two rats, one on each side. So that's where they hook their anchors at. And when they anchors at, you notice that if you're not thinking and you're dazed off or something, he'll be making you smoke and drink the whole time by pressing on the pedal, and you don't even notice him. Not everybody notices the power that other people have over them. And most of their envies don't come from themselves. They're induced by somebody else's presence. And we've been rewired, our dynamic structure, our dynamic social structure has been rewired by the Nazis and the fascists in order to provoke a dynamic that would increase capitalist wealth and consumption, or consumerism, in order for the economy to roll and to be king and masters of the world economically. So for them, power was related to cash, but it's not. We have a proof nowadays. Now the pyramids been turned upside down. Surprise. And that the people is actually writing down on the collective space with truth and love, the truth, because love hides the truth, and hate hides life. So, and sometimes sex hides life. So that's why they don't like the bath that much. That's why they taught us not to play with the love. That's the love. That's it. That you have to. That's it. That I don't know what. It might be an object in front of you. Objects. You might think this is weird. You will believe me once you start feeling. You should start feeling soon. I decided to command you to wake up, wake up, wake up. So you got to realize, you got to pay attention. Pay attention to what music and vibration does to your attention, and where your focus is at. If you let go, where does it take you? If when you go into the moon, or when you're daydreaming, what do you wake up in front of? Are you looking at when you wake up? That's a message. That's something that's attracted you there. There's an energy there that somebody put there by just touching it or giving it to you. It can be somebody evil. That some objects are evil, narcissistic presences, and they act with your objects, and they keep you addicted. They bump you. There's these invisible track marks of light faded out. I kind of hallucinate them. They'll call those hallucinations, but I see them. They grab my eyes and drag them where they want. And those are kind of magic energy strips that are linked to objects by looking and saying this one, that one, that one, that one. Well, they kind of stretch a tape from object to object, and then the object with the energy it has inside of it, it works better with crystals and pyramids and occultist stuff, which I'm not a great specialist. I want to go see the salon of occultism soon. I did get myself a little obsidian pyramid. There's Prana. You can suck on the pyramid and smoke some energy. If you focus on it and it comes in cold. I don't know if it works through a TV, but usually I can get. And there up there, up here, there's whiskey in the Mickey. Mickey Mouse didn't get me. Ha ha ha. It's up there. Mickey Mouse, the first Nazi to go around the world. Around the world, around the world. So, yeah. So, I'm always sitting on this love sensation because I have a narcissistic pervert roommate, and he's that whatever's tickling me, or he gets up here, he actually controls the cockpit sometimes. It's like as if I'd be a house. This is really difficult to conceive, but yeah, I can affect people from a distance because they're squatting inside of me. I have this antenna. I just have to blast what I want on the energy, and they'll love it or hate it, or and I can speak to when you kind of the father of people, and there will be more little fathers and here and there, and the groups will have their little father, and that would all place themselves on the new pyramid in order to print out behavior and not dictate, but inspired by inspiring. See, I connect to you, I don't, I connect to you, I don't, I connect to you, I don't connect. See the atmosphere? Now I'm in your head. I can telepathically, I don't know if it works, but I don't hear myself when I speak in people's heads, but I know they obey something, and sometimes I hear what they're told to obey. And that stuff you can print on the dough. When you talk on the tape, if you feel the tape, or imagine the tape coming out, or in, because I feel it in my eyes. There's a swirling and this little love sensation in my eyes. When I look at something, it kisses, and it leaves a little bit of love there, and then your brain remembers psychically that love. You just tag what you looked at because you loved it, so you tagged it. So that energy you can grab, and that would be a wand that you could place somewhere else on another object. That would be better to want at that moment. So that's how you would change your dependencies and your interests. When you look at whatever's bad for you, this stuff is bad for you, that would be good for you. If you let your eyes go, they'll go in a direction according, especially if you have good music playing. You let your body go to flow to the music. Madonna said that. That really means let your body flow to the music. Let the music move your body. Don't move your body on your own. Just go really neutral and feel which way the music's pushing you. And it's always in a direction where you'll feel the love and this love or sexual horny sensation. And that twirls, and you'll end up feeling all these. I feel all these tubes in my back, those are you tubes because you are in there, okay? And in those tubes, and they crawl up here. They have all the city up here too, and there's these tentacles and energy. And the one in public, I get this. See, I poke the ceiling and the air changes. I don't know if you feel that, but ding, 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 ding. So when I touch the horn on the roof, that means there's somebody up there on the roof. Somebody's printing over. I might be at the bottom, I guess, getting all the goods. I don't know. Who cares? I know that it gives the power to command or to dictate. What was the Pope and the presidents of powerful countries doing? They were dictating. People wouldn't notice the dictature happening, but they're actually obeying what they said politically in public. That was a magical program that places this and that to this, that place, and attributes this to that and that to this in order to dominate the world. So that was a bad way to dictate because nobody would be aware of what they were doing and why, except surviving and trying to be normal and accepting what TV would give them to love and society would allow them to love and be like. So I probably accessed all this freedom of energy by being a marginal and not accepting what society was offering me and being myself and following what I wanted to do, not what they would inspire me to do. By not having a TV for 10 or 15 years and never listening to TV or just maybe movies here and there, and especially not loving Hollywood music, movies. America is at war, guys, and if I look at my family and families around me, they're all separated across country. Brothers and sisters are in far apart cities. Couples are family is dismantled. They're all single, good fathers with a single mother. And only bad couples survive. And it's so war. They're destroying family and the culture and the religion and things like that. They never stopped after the Second World War. They just went underground. It was a submission. They'd be infiltrating and just covering and digesting the good people, transforming and cloning them, kind of thing. The clone army in Star Wars is for real. People, when you're in my position, they behave a certain way, and they would all become soldiers that were actively killing me. They would all be giving me smoking envies. They'd be happy to see me smoke and lifting my hand to do it. They'd be doing it on purpose. I can make them smoke, and then whatever. And so that gives me whatever. That's always a horny when I smoke. Look in your shorts and poke it with your chin, poke your perineal area, and you'll find these horny things that you can stretch, and you have to melt down all that love. And sometimes they give you a guy so you feel bad about it, eh? That's manipulation. You have to figure out a way to out cheat that and work on that, because that's what you want. You gotta work on. That's what you gotta love. You gotta put good. You gotta put and when you find that love and you feel that love that I feel right now, it's just twirling up here now. And it goes all over. They're in their tubes and they go wherever they want. They always try to come up, the rats, to control, or the sheep, or the cow, or the pork, the pig. They all try to make it north in the attic, yeah. And then get all these tentacles. Some of them just live there and just to know what you're up to all the time. That can be really strange to believe, but yeah, I'm telling you, we're a telepaths, and people that the eye on top of the pyramid on your dollar bill isn't there for no reason. They actually know. They could see. They used to see everything. Now the eye is red. The eye is ours. It's like this now. So it's like this and like this, like this and like this. People on top, like this. Yeah, power to the people. That's anarchy. People dictate. People command if they want. Good people command if they want. If it's reasonable and non-ego related. And people command other people all the time without noticing. They just commanded them and changed their habits. But now that is possible. Be careful what you say and what you wish for. We are creators now. We can create what we want. And we just have to verbalize it. And we have to just eliminate ego, and evil from whatever we create. And creation should place itself. We build our future, we build our destiny with what we say. Those are all mantras that print on this dough. So in French, le bon bain is the bath, is when you get water, when they touch that feeling they have, and it's you that start blah blah blah. You know, it's me. They usually start talking or about they're crazy or whatever because they're being played with. They know it's them, so they're all shy. People find their lies or laugh at them because the fascist way is to laugh at that person or to take pictures, making him think too much, and he's always feeling harassed. You always feel like you're watched, and you can never just sleep. You're always awake. Feel like something's watching me mode kind of thing, and you don't really want to move. You hesitate before each movement because you think somebody's going to speak again or bother you. There's distraction whenever you move, or they parasite you in the fascist way. And that's always a Christ, a Che, or the best natural born leader. And that would inspire and take good care of his people instead of dictating them and having them destroy themselves like the ancient system would do. We still have to be aware. They still have a conscience and the mind of their own. Whatever would make evil flower and all that. I just saw Trump talking about the war in Syria. No, that war is a fucking terror they spread, accusing them to be terrorists. The terror came from the United States and the Christian church and God. God is the terror. God is the fascism. God is the fascist with that body on a stick. With Jesus, the Christians killed Jesus. They killed Jesus. They crucified the natural born leader, the good soul. And it was Christian, and he kept on spreading Christianity after killing the Christ, scaring people to get killed if they behave like one. That's intimidation. That's bullying. That's the basis of narcissistic fascism. Narcissists use intimidation, but they are less and less scary. They actually try to inspire and to influence. They influence. Influence drags you in, but inspiration drags you up. Influence and inspiration. Influence, I think, is more of to get you addicted to something. They'll influence you into. But to inspire you, how can you inspire somebody in destroying themselves? Well, you could if you want to, by commanding and telling the proper story. So you have to be careful what you tell people. And you have to be careful what you make of your destiny, because the words you say, if you say that you can't do something, you won't be able to do it because you just said you couldn't. So there's certain ways of expressing stuff that don't work, and I have a tendency of verbalizing whatever I can't do. I just said I can't do whatever I can't do. That means I can't do whatever. If you find the order and the level where every word was said, they have this level where they make a certain phrase and a recipe and a magic mantra incantation. Some of them you can't feel, or that when you're sleeping only applies while you're sleeping, or something like that, or when the next time you see this thing, but you don't notice the changes appearing. But now you should notice a good change with a new system of the new world order, and how we rewired society, and we're still rewiring it all the time and changing who calls who and who attracts whose attention, and which kind of person. Is it a good or a bad person? Is it a narcissist that's evil, that's trying to kill people, pretending to help like they've been doing? So that dough is all the dough, the cash, eh? Now you got McDonald's, they have dough too. And dough, what's dough? It's flour and water. When they give you a bath, they give you water. John gives water. When he's good, Johnny be good. Johnny comes from Johnny. Johnny is the Apostle John. And John is because he talks with the nose. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, because he's a nosy kind of conversation. So that he gives water, he cleans up stuff, so he gets rid of dependencies. You know, when the water fountain is, the water bottle flashes, or you notice the water bottle when somebody's talking, well, let him talk. He's cleaning your shit up. He's in your garbage and making good water out of it that you're getting paid for. So let that Jesus or that John speak. He's gonna turn into a fountain and just purify you. Why do they keep him quiet? It's because he gets rid of dependencies. He gets rid of need. He gets rid of want. Want and need. That's things they've been exploiting that should disappear. And then whatever the other two needs. There's a whole bunch of needs in your perineal area around whatever, but they're different places. I always take the first one and pretend it's yours and that they can't feel it, and then they start controlling. No, if they found it and show you they found something, it's because they feel it too. You have as much power as the manipulative creep, narcissist creep that's trying to screw you over. They actually manage to get into your intimacy and dictate to your mind without you hearing them how to behave, and then you just start behaving. That's where that Obey the Brave on the Ed Rush t-shirt comes from. That's because they obey the brave now. We've been brave, we earned it, we are the worthy, we are the brave, thus you obey us. So that's Obey the Brave, and people will obey. But since we're good, we choose to inspire and to speak the truth and have the virtue and reason govern, have principles govern and not people, and have an energy, a collective consciousness govern more over people. So that way, equality, equilibrium is kept, and that all goes. That's like energy you can feel. I don't know if you can feel how the energy flows, and how I did concentrate on what's going, the push and pull between my hands, and how I can be playing with one of your balls and just juggling and having it hover in the middle. Blah 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 blah. I'm trying. It's not working. But if I'd be just talking, and I'd be stretching this ball of energy for you and tearing it apart and giving you beer or this energy, whatever they say, beer or whiskey or something that you can drink. You should be inhaling, not drinking, if you're a good person, because that's a trick. That's because if they're evil, they'll be drinking. They don't know there's energy behind those. I shouldn't have said that, but they'll forget that. So, yeah, that's it. So, unless they become good, they'll always have a choice to to do wrong the right way. If you do wrong the right way, there is a way to do wrong, and good and evil have to balance. So, but there's the root of all evil that has no way. That somebody that's never nice. That's why we love evil. That's all a fucking game, eh? Fuck, fuck, fuck. Well, they kept us from fucking, and they were fucking us. They had the dick, and So now we have the dick. We have we can we have the power now, people. So don't believe anymore. And this energy, though it's flour and water. They put flour in the water. What's the flour? It's drugs in the water to piss off John. They put drugs in John. John is jonesing off drugs because he's jonesing for the dough. The dough is water and powder. That does freebase. That does crack. And that's the rock wall. That was the wall that was keeping us from our way and the energy and from being free. And when all heroes or good Johns would end up in the rocks. So that's the dough. See, the dough makes dough, and it makes donuts. The dough is a nut. Dough is C note in French. Dough. Dough is nut. So there's this international language that comes back again. See, that works in multiple languages. But that you print when on the horny feeling. That's where you put words where you want it to when you want it to love something. You interest it. When you feel that energy, well, whatever is horny, that there's always this rail inside that you can feel more than another one, or lots of tentacles, kind of that your hair. I call those hair. That energy that's inside here, when they mess up their hair, because they see the energy's all messed up in their head, and it's all twisted. All they've been messed up with, or you know, or when they have the braids, it's because they've been going through their energy and just combing through it and braiding it all up so nobody can come up, so that their head is invulnerable. And then when they have the tentacles, I have these tubes that come down. They hooked it in my back. I had a real handle in my back. That goes with a French expression. J'ai une poignée dans le dos. That's when you're a suitcase. And they just pack you up when you're a suitcase. Hey, that means you're thick. When you have a poignée dans le dos. I had a real poignée dans le dos. Though the back's never a good sign. He's back to you, so that's an enemy. But I had the handle in the back too, and I would keep the thing down, and they were hiding back there, and they crawl up when I sleep and do their shit and drop the crumbs, and they drop these little crumbs that if you rub inside the tube with music or violin, they blow up into this love sensation, and you just stretch it, and it's kind of, you just, it feels weird. Anyways, sorry, I just went through euphoria for you. I'm still running after it. It's so funny. I'm addicted to this. The cleaning up my house. I just love that you put music on and you dance and you feel it's like those ribbons that put to curl your hair. They kind of go up and down and have this wire that it's like a pulley system. Then it goes up, down, or you go upstairs, downstairs. Yeah. And that's all that matter how it works. Say there's 2 living rooms and there's lamppost down there in hell. You can go trip in hell all you want. There's no danger. Because I'm Satan. Satan is, shh, don't tell him anybody. Justin Power is Satan. And God. No, just kidding. Uh, so yeah, right on that energy though, right on the tape. When you sing, you actually, when you move, you're actually a crumb emitting tape of your movement. You're transforming stuff into energy. You are evacuating the energy of your movement, the emotion of the moment is coming out of you. If you'd be inside someone, you'd feel you like this little ticklish crumb that that twirls out tape. And then when you go, bah, you just send all the tape back up. You just kind of let loose and it crawls all up and all get their update or something. You just cleaned up the whole bunch of people from bad habits. They had fun the whole time. It was ticklish. They were feeling love. And I just dance and dance and dance and dance on my own. Since I'm always isolated, I'm starting to have women that look at me, yeah, and to get followers even that they're starting to trust and to, to accept who I am. I used to be persecuted, so and always left alone. Oh, they would be told not to talk to me. Yeah, they'd pop out of my head. This voice would tell them, "Don't talk to them." They'd go around. It did look like they'd be doing whatever was possible not to talk to you. They looked like they were really trying to avoid you. Saying, "What the fuck with these? Everybody's doing that all the time, you know." So that's the curse of the John the Conqueror. But John has this one. If you meet other ones, the one in the crowd has a gift. He probably feels that energy. If you let that one in, he can clean up your house. He can untangle those roses for you that you got. If you're good, you're gonna get a nice cleanup, a nice rewiring, like C-3PO in the Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. So yeah. So now I have this cat in my throat. It's just he made it to my throat, and when I talk, it's playing my vocal cords, and it's all ticklish, and it's like these two sections of crisscrossing tape that at the junction they kind of split and like go real long, but at the junction is the crumb you're trying to break, and you just can't get it all the time, eh? And it stretches and it stretches and it stretches. This stuff is for real. I'm not crazy. It's I feel these twists and twirls, and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes they twist it so much that they harden, and they block the tube so nobody makes it up or down from it anymore, and they hide up there with the tube blocked. So and you have to go in and they're really hard to catch, and you gotta crunch your way up with a cold head to the top of that twirling thing that starts going like this. When you've almost made it to the top, and it won't. You can't make it to the tip if it's a dependency. It always will beat you. But I managed to catch it. I beat the Kraken. My snake took over on his. His snake is lazy. I decided. Yeah. So hopefully you end up feeling. I hope you get the energy. I'm sending you tons of energy non-stop and giving you the goods, the wine, turn the water into wine, and wine's fine, the whiskey and wine, and gin, tonic, and whatever you want. Oh, well, they will want now, because I put want on the button. So they're gonna want. It's an intercom. So be nice, otherwise we're gonna be intercomming you. This is how it works now. There's no advantage in propagating fascism and scapegoating. And what's it? It will appear by saying that's it. You don't decide what's it. It just happens. it becomes. It is the boss. It has control over you. That's why it can't speak ever. So it has to understand that it has a power over its scapegoaters. They're just making you believe that you don't have none. You just have to go beyond that, be stronger, and to convince yourself that you are as strong or stronger than your scapegoater, and that the team, and that you can command them by just an affirmative sentence, and just by speaking yourself out like they don't want you to, like John. That's the whole secret. And if they're nice, they're just gonna get a nice little tickle, and nothing's bad. They're scaring them into not wanting that water, and they're all afraid of water now. And it's just water, and we don't even look at the lies, for fuck's sake. And all that tape, it's all just getting cleaned up and derailed as we speak anyway. So there's nothing you can do to stop us. So just get used to the bath. Get used to it. We're twirling this energy for you. I'm looking crazy again because I'm playing with this caramel, this dough that's all over, up to the Dow Jones that's doughing us. When this dough melts, it gives silver, it gives gold, it gives elixir, and it gives this wire that shouldn't be there, that we're trying to melt down. So ride the rail, print something new on that rail, print goodness and love on that rail, so they become lovely and they love what we love instead of hating us. So that's the trick. It's let love rule. I'm dancing like this because I feel I know crazy people do this. Me, it's because it feels good. I'm kind of masturbating right now. I'm not masturbating for real, but I mean, just it tickles me. I'm all dressed up. Don't think I'm a pervert. I'm not a pervert. Narcissistic perverts aren't perverts no more. Let's try that. See if that works. That wasn't egoistic, wasn't? So yeah, if you have good ideas like that, just write them down. Right here. Your stomach just knows where right here is. Writes where it has to when you're honest. It'll write the right stuff at the right place if you're in the right realm, exploring new ideas and new theories and new ideologies, logics and philosophy. And you're working on your mentality. When you print that on that tape, you keep storage of it. The tape leads to mushrooms, where this upside down mushroom, where it twirls and it gives energy, like the bottom of the stomach. You kind of, all the elements: water, air, fire, earth. Feel them around you: fire, earth, water, air. Anyways, so yeah, it does a mushroom, and inside of the mushroom there's a energy when it twirls, and those are the chakras. You can feel them from the inside. They're like some sort of a saucer with an interior, with this sort of membrane around them, and sometimes there's a mushroom that kind of kisses into it and just twirls that, and generates this prana, this energy. I get them up my cheeks sometimes, these turbines, and it switches place. It depends on what I watch. I get this pointy, because I don't think I have a good wife. They married me with a rat or something that makes me want to do evil stuff for my body all the time, and make me want to smoke and this and that. See, I'm nice. I didn't even put that word on the button. You know the button? You gotta press the button first. Then on the button, that's where you're really doing the AK-47 right down the button. Uh-oh. I wasn't supposed to say that way. See, now I just interfered in peace. Peace goes on the button. Peace. Peace on the button. Peace, 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 peace. Withdraw all troops. We'll try our antennas, see if they make it. So yeah, become a radio jockey, a radio with your personal home new video. Kiss people if you think you give a good example. Well, just kiss them and be naked and let them access to your privacy. If they want to, they'll just be kissed and become your children. It's as easy as that. You just have to be careful with your mind and don't let them take advantage over you. Just they'll try to make you think they have it. They don't. Just fear nothing. Fear nothing and just twirl out that tape and take whatever love and just melt it down into money. They made gold out of lead, but we're going to make money out of love. Money out of love. It's as easy as that. So yeah, it's almost been an hour. The new generation, they're going to be awoken before even knowing how to speak. So I wish you all to awake. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Become good. Yeah, that's it. So I don't know what to say no more. That was the dough story. So it's actually energy you feel inside. It's these screenings. It's like if I'd be wrapped like a Roman and they crawl up these things and they give me a sore neck because they're all twirled into my spine. I feel this rail of love that keeps on mixing itself up at the same place. So whenever I look this way, it hurts. And then I feel the hard rail. It's kind of plastic hard. And then you kind of have to dig into that. And I got the pain. Sometimes you have to follow the pain because it hides behind pain. And it's just this twist and twirl and let your body flow to the music. That's how you clean yourself up from bad roses and or flowers, with music, with vibration, with frequencies, and with words and mantras. So it has to be good music. Grindcore is pretty purifying, but there's folk is good for your area. It would be the best, I think, is folk. So just every music has its area of effect. Depends what you want to take out. But everybody was going to be starting to love metal and grindcore soon because we've been teaching them with love what it was for a long time. Metalheads did a hard work, and all the artists that worked on this, and the people that wrote right here when it was time, they wrote, and that truth of the book of God, the new God, not Christian God, the collective soul, the God we created, because the man creates gods, and humans create gods by uniting in a collective soul. The collective soul becomes their God. Their eyes, their ears, their little voice, their inner voice. Do you have an inner voice? You'll get an inner voice that'll help you. You'll connect to the inner left. Do you feel stuff moving in your brain? Did I mercury you? Mercury on your hands, sulfur, salt, mercury, sulfur, salt, mercury, sulfur, salt. Does it melt? Do you feel I feel my brain melting. That's what the mercury does. And then it's all flowing down. this big velvety boucle of whatever you call just went down my head, and it's going down to where I put my tie. You can put a tie down there by doing an 8. Oh, and there's this big horny ball that's trying to crawl back up. See, they're in that tube. And so that's why I always have to move, because I open the tube up, so it's always crawling back up into the top. That's why I have to move all the time, or I have to be busy drawing or doing something. So I hope I'm not the only one that feels this energy this way, and that you guys actually start feeling. You have to move a bit, especially music, and you have to relax. You have to leave your eyes go mellow and see where the music takes you. It'll grab you. You have to really stall, and then you'll feel like going that way, but to the sound of a particular instrument or a voice. The voice is going to follow and then it's going to be a horny love, a feeling that the voice is going to keep you following. And then and your body is always going to bend in the right direction if you don't bend it first. And you just don't pay attention to it, it's going to turn itself, it's going to balance itself out to follow that crumb that's you're trying to work on. That's the love you're melting down in your back or in your head. See, or this YouTuber that you're melting down that's actually a rat. But this is really horny feeling sometimes. But yeah, you do, and don't pretend you're bugging a girl, but you're not. Yeah, you do. Some of it you have to do alone at home because it takes way too long, and you have to do 2 weird moves to keep up with the feeling you have to melt down. But this is how you remove kisses and evil, toxic people influence from inside of you. This may look weird, but they feel like love inside tubes. Not like down in my leg. See, you have to drag them all the way down to your feet, and then they become these mushrooms under your feet, and you control the 2 shovels with your feet. They become, when you're the alpha, only alpha feel that, I think, but when you're the alpha male, you get them in your mouth, in your palate. That's what they call the palace in French, is up in your mouth, and you hold them with your jaw. Let go, hold, and go, hold. Or you move them. Move. So, yeah, look at that. See the eyes, where they go, anyways. So, yeah, you can't control people, I guess. But when you're alpha. So, you got to develop your alpha state of mind. I'm not a psychiatric specialist. I'm a feeler. I feel, and I learned by my own what energy was inside of me and what whiskey was and how to work it with music. Use music frequencies and vibrations. These violins, banjo, tick, tick, ding, 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 with the banjo, the tick, 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 little clicks, tick, clacks, little noise. They'll get this little crumb that you can feel. That's a little itch. Well, that's it. So there you go. You take that thing out. It's gonna twirl all over and tickle you. And then sometimes there's a wire inside of it that's really hard and that's poked into your bones. And then I start twisting and then it goes all crazy. And then you drag it down the hole as the logs go rolling down. Roll the logs down. You just have to roll that snake down. That's all you gotta do. Roll it down, roll it down, roll it down, clockwise. So that's how you take care of, you get rid of evil guests in your house, and how you get rid of roses and bad kisses. You melt the rose with music. It's following love. Love will take you in the right direction. And the music will, sometimes when it splits, the music will take you to the right one if you follow the music. The music knows which way to go. So it'll contract the right muscle because your body knows what it has to follow in order to fix itself. So let your body move itself to the music, or the music move your body. Either way. But you cannot move on your own. Because whenever you move, you're letting it take an advance and going higher when you want to go, when you want it to go down. And sometimes it's just this. It's like a hair with the hair would go just like that. You know, they have a straight hair, and some of them are loose, so they go like that. Well, it's just a little bump like that on an energy string. That's a person, and it goes up and down. And then you go flip, and then you drop it, and it pops all the way up. That's how they pop balls to you. They pop them up from downstairs up to the to the attic. So see now I have new stuff to work. I have new strings up there. And you guys gotta clean your strings up. Sometimes you're a puppet. But if your strings are clean and your knees are clean, they'll make less of a puppet out of you. Because it's obey the master sometimes. And we are puppets when sometimes we don't even know. I notice I'm a puppet because my arms get my body wants to do something I don't want it to do now. So I feel like C-3PO that my arms go like that, and I'm a puppet now, and it's actually something controlling us. Yeah. So by cleaning your energy, well, you get at least good influences. Influencing over you instead of having a bad influence. So you have to get rid of those crumbs and that energy inside of you. And gotta melt the love down. So let love rule and happy loving, guys, happy dancing. And you'll be twisting. And if you find that feeling, I'm telling you, you'll be twisting all night. It's fun because you love doing that. You're leaning on love the whole time. So it's kind of tickles you, and it's kind of like you end up doing this for hours, and you don't even notice it, that you look silly and that that it's fun because there's love attached to it. What can I tell you? That you don't always have to dance. You can draw or play music or clean up. By moving around, you actually work on those without noticing sometimes. It's like the inner of a tent, of a chapiteau, a circus tent, like that sometimes, with all these strings inside of it, and the strings are all love, but there's tons around, and it's like a dome, and it twirls, and then it goes into this tube, and that's only up there. I don't know who's up there, but maybe it's the same as up there. I was trying to make it up in this thing. There's something in there. Anyways, so good research.